the Kauri tree is a giant associated with New Zealand, although it also occurs in the Melbourne sort of area, Tasmania area, in Australia. It was logged. It was logged almost to extinction. And the reason for this was because the Kauri tree is not only a giant containing a vast amount of wood, but also it has a columnar structure, like a column in a cathedral. And once it's mature, it has no outer branches at all. So it has no knots. It's a column of wood without knots. And then at the top, something crazy happens. It looks like a wild man's wig at the top. But that column of wood meant that everybody wanted it. Great for masts, great for shipbuilding, great for furniture, great for so many things. Logged to extinction, almost to extinction, is part of its signature. But what really struck me when I visited New Zealand and fell in love with the country was the fact that the Kauri tree, when it suffers damage to one of its upper limbs, as I said, that crazy wild man's wig at the top is full of limbs and leaves, was that the wound never healed. It produced resin, which is an attempt of the tree to seal itself, but never succeeded. So resin would continually fall from the site of a wounded branch. It's like a continuous, unhealing hemorrhage of resin. So what you see are stalagmites and stalactites hanging on high above and piling up down below. Great heaps, mounds of the stuff. Actually, after the logging, there was a secondary industry which involved picking up the resin, because that has very interesting properties too. So that's a lot of resin. And the unhealing wound aspect really struck me when you combine this signature with the fact that that the great forests had been logged for the wood, was a very, very powerful force in my imagination. So I was very happy to carry out the proving of Kauri. It also interested one of our students at the time, and he went ahead and carried out a second proving, so the two have got amalgamated. Alistair Gray has written eloquently on Kauri, and as I say, carried out that second proving. But what really strikes me and what I really like to pass on to you is two key ideas that lock together. One is unhealing wound, and the other is a past that has been irreparably destroyed and that one longs for, but has the feeling that one can never reconnect. That is the wound. Like childhood. I mean, the imaginal, beautiful childhood that's gone forever, that's completely destroyed, that is an unhealing wound of longing, is a pretty key idea in the remedy, and useful to help think about it when it's in your patient. Of course, all the detail is in the proving, so please go there. You'll see other things that appeared. For instance, Alistair was very interested in the idea that a couple of his provers had of the forehead coming to a peak, and so he mentions that. But each view that an individual has on a remedy will be just one window into the landscape that the remedy presents, and it's good to have several, to say the least. So my window is slightly different from Alistair's, I think. It's not contradictory, it's just an and.